Greetings everyone, I'm Brooks Sparks and I'm super excited to introduce Turno to all of you today. I've been working in the short-term rental industry for the last 8 years, and honestly, Turno is one of the most fulfilling and exciting tools I've worked with yet in this space. I have the privilege of working with hosts and property managers every single day to meet their short-term rental cleaning related goals, and I've enjoyed those conversations a lot so far. So Turno's been operating for several years now. We've grown very quickly in the space, now with over 30 plus customer support specialists available 24/7, which is clutch, and 50 plus developers working to improve the tool every day. And we now total over 150 employees across 7 countries, and we can continue to grow every day. Now Turno is a single platform to source and manage the entire vacation rental cleaning lifecycle. Our goal here with Turno is to help our partners streamline the whole cleaning management experience, from finding cleaners to automating and streamlining all of the cleaning related processes. The major vacation rental data companies over the last couple of years have reported major increases in short-term rental supply worldwide. The amount of short-term rental companies continues to grow, and the supply continues to decrease every year. So it has never been more important than now to make sure you're delivering a 5-star level clean every single time. We all know how devastating bad cleaning reviews can be. So in a market of more and more competition, we have to find the best cleaning management process to ensure 5-star cleaning reviews every time. Now Turno is your ultimate sidekick for hassle-free scheduling. Say goodbye to the chaos of juggling cleans and hello to smooth sailing with Turno. It's like having a personal assistant in your pocket, always ready to help you manage your cleaning calendar like a pro. And with Turno, you can easily connect to your PMS or booking channels to sync calendars and then automate scheduling and payments to the cleaners. Plus, its friendly reminders make sure you and the cleaners never miss a beat. So why stress when you can Turno it up and make scheduling super easy? Inside of Turno, you can also create custom checklists that can be made mandatory for your cleaners to check through as they clean the property. This can promote consistency and peace of mind, no matter if the clean is done by the primary cleaner, the backup, or a brand new cleaner from our marketplace, for example. You can even add photo expectations for the properties if you need something to look a specific way in the property, maybe like some throw pillows on a bed. And you can also make it mandatory for the cleaners to take photos of certain things in the property to make sure it all looks good. As the cleaners go through the property, checking off the checklist, they'll have the access to your inventory list to make sure everything is stocked up in the property. And if they notice any issue in the property, like broken items or missing items, they can snap a photo of it in Turno for Cleaners app and add commentary if they wish. So you can track it in the problem section of Turno. And Turno has 2 apps, Turno for hosts and Turno for cleaners, which streamlines the host side of things when you guys are on the go. And it makes it very easy for the cleaners to get their schedules and access all the info to actually complete the cleans. In addition to all the great cleaning management automation that Turno offers, we also have our cleaner search, which allows you to gain access to the world's largest cleaner marketplace to help build out your cleaning team. All of the cleaners on our marketplace are background checked and have been vetted internally by verifying that they have completed short-term rental cleans before. Our cleaner marketplace helps tons of hosts and property managers every single day looking to expand their cleaning staff, find cleaners for new markets, backup cleaners, or even finding their very first cleaner. To take advantage of the tool, all you have to do is log into your Turno account and put in a cleaner search for one of your markets. Then the cleaners in your area will place bids on that cleaner search to join your team. As you go through the bids, you'll be able to see their qualifications, experience levels, reviews from other hosts in your area, which is really nice. And then after accepting those bids, you can communicate with the cleaners for expectation setting, interviews, price negotiations, and even in-person walkthroughs of the property. And once you have done your additional screening and determine that they're a good fit for the team, you can assign them to the properties as either a primary cleaner or a backup cleaner. Then the automation of the cleaning process takes over from there. Turno is the smart way to schedule, pay, and find vacation rental cleaners. And I'd now like to introduce my colleague Jaya, who will take over from here to show you how the tool works.
Hi everyone, I'm Jaya. I'm an account executive here at Turno, and today I will be walking you through kind of all the buttons on the site so that I can help you get started. Now, here at Turno, we automate your cleaning calendar, your payments, and then we also have a marketplace where you can find cleaners and build the team. We do also allow you to work with pre-existing cleaners if you already have one in place. Now, the way that this works is you connect your booking site so that we can recognize when you do get a booking, so that we automatically create a cleaning set for when that guest is going to check out. We then send it to your primary cleaner to either accept or reject based on their own availability, and if they reject it, we open it up to your backup cleaners, and from there it's first come, first serve. Now, we will get into finding cleaners in a second, but your first step when creating an account is to link up all of the booking sites that you're on. You can do so by clicking your initials in the top right corner, or it'll be your profile picture if you've already changed it. I'm clicking on integrations over here. If you are on a PMS or a channel manager, you can scroll through this list to see, go and find yours. All that this integration really does is pull through your booking and calendar information so that we know when to create these cleanings. But if you're not on a channel manager, you can just connect directly with whatever other booking sites you're on. Now, once you have that all set up, we can go look for the cleaners in our marketplace. You can find it here under Cleaner Search, and you will be clicking New Search over there in the corner. It's going to ask you for some basic information here, bed, bath, square footage, address. And then on the next page, it'll ask, how long you think it might take, how many turns you think you might need in a month, if you're providing the supplies or if the cleaner is, and then if you need linens and towels done. You can also attach a checklist if you'd like, but if you don't have one quite yet, that's no worries. We can build one out later. Now, when we click Find Cleaners, you've placed the search, and we send it out to all of the cleaners we have in the area, and if they're interested, they place a bid, and you get a list back that looks something like this. Now, from here, you can click in to read their bios, reviews. You can see how far away from the unit they are, how many cleanings they've done on Turno. All of our cleaners are background checked, but some will have extra qualifications like licensing or insurance, so you can see that here under the badges section. Scroll down to read their reviews. You will notice we have two separate ratings here. One is a host rating and the other is the Airbnb guest rating. Host ratings are from other hosts on Turno leaving their opinions, whereas the Airbnb guest rating is directly from guests who have stayed at properties that Katie has cleaned for before, who have rated the cleanliness on a scale of 1 to 5 stars. We pull that back through and link it up with her profile here. Now, the most important thing to note about our marketplace is that we do only give you 48 hours to either accept or reject these offers. You can see it here in the corner, expires 2 days from now. But the most important thing to note about this is that accepting an offer is non-binding. So accepting someone from the marketplace does not mean that you have to work with them. It's not going to lock you in any kind of contract or pay them immediately or show them your calendar. All that accepting an offer does is make it so that they don't expire and so that you're allowed to send your phone number. So my suggestion is to place your search, wait about a day for most of the bids to come in, and then go through and accept your favorite 2 to 5 candidates. Now, at this point, you'll be able to reach out through the chat over here in the corner with any questions you may have. Technically, you can keep all of your questions in the chat, but most hosts like to start with a phone interview. So you can, clarify expectations. You can send photos of the place. You can negotiate pricing. You can ask what services they offer or if they work solo or in a team. You can, schedule a walk through the property or a test clean. Whatever it is that you'd like to do to vet these cleaners, you can do once you've accepted the bid. And then if it's not a good fit, you can always disconnect. But the goal here is to find a favorite to make your primary and then 1 or 2 backups as well. Now, let's move me over here. All of the people who you accept from the marketplace are going to pop up over here under the My Team tab. and they're going to start off looking something like Tina. You'll notice Tina is not added to any properties in the beginning, so set up like this, she has no calendar access. She can't see any of the upcoming cleanings we've created for you. So she's basically in a little waiting room waiting on you to decide where she's going, if she's staying. If she's not staying, if it wasn't a good fit, you can remove her with that trash can icon. But if you did like her, you can decide if she's your primary or backup cleaner and add her to the property. So you'll select the properties that she's cleaning, primary or backup. And then, like I mentioned, pricing is negotiable. So if you guys came to a different number, it'll be you who adjusts it on your end here. And then once you save it, she's basically in line to receive these cleanings as they come in. If you do already have your own cleaners, this is the page where you can invite them by clicking Invite Teammate. You can send them a text or an email, and once they accept this invitation, they will look just like Tina again, and you'll just plug them in where they need to go. Now, the last feature we have on this page is our co-host tab, and this is for anyone who might need access to your side of the Turno account. So you can invite them on here. And I will also mention, we do actually allow you to invite on people other than cleaners. So we only have the marketplace for cleaners, but if you already work with a maintenance person and would like to schedule them through our platform, you would invite them on the same way you would a cleaner, just via text or email, and just add them to the properties that they might need to service in the future. All right, guys. Now, once you have your team in place, you'll be spending most of your time over here in the Projects tab. We call each individual cleaning a project on our platform, so this is basically your calendar, and you can look at it list or schedule view. We'll take a look at both. We'll start in schedule, I guess. And in schedule view, you can actually see the bookings themselves. So the property name is over here on the left, the gray line is the booking, and then the colorful one on top is the cleaning. If it says no teammate, that means you're waiting on someone to accept it, whereas if someone's name is in there, that means that they have accepted it and are ready to be there for you on that day. Now, I prefer to look at the Projects tab list view. It's the same information, just formatted a little differently, and in list view, your cleanings are separated into pending and accepted projects. Pending projects are all of your upcoming cleanings that have not yet been accepted, and this view is very similar to what your primary cleaner sees when they first log in, except on their end, it'll say project requests. So they would be able to scroll through, check out the dates and times, hit accept and reject, and this is where if your primary cleaner does reject something, then that particular cleaning opens up in the request tab of your backup cleaners. Now, to learn more about what we share with the cleaners themselves, you can click into any of these gray rectangles to open up the project card, which is this gray box over here on the right. So we are showing your cleaners the start and end time, if it's a same day arrival, so that they know to stay within that time frame. This is where your checklist and inventory will live, which we'll get into in just a second. So we were covering the checklist and the inventory. The project card will also have your address, any notes you may want to leave them, and in your account it will also have the next guest information, so how many people are staying in the next reservation. Now, your goal here is really just to keep an eye on this calendar to make sure that eventually all of your pending projects move over into the Accepted Projects tab so that you know someone is committed to being there for you on that day. We will send you notifications, though, if these pending projects are sitting here for too long, so you'll know regardless. Now, one of the last features we have on this tab is our Manual Project button, and manual projects are for anything you might need done unassociated to your booking calendar. So this would be things like deep cleans, test cleans, mid-stay cleans, and this is also how you would schedule anybody else that you had invited on. So earlier we mentioned inviting on a maintenance person, so if you wanted them to come in, you could just pick your dates and times. You could even create them a special checklist, select the property. We do also allow you to create repeating projects. So if you know you want a deep clean done, twice a year, you can set it up like that. You can leave them a note. And these manual projects work the same way as normal ones do, in the sense that they can still accept or reject, check in, check out, get auto paid, all the same. Speaking of auto pay, the way that works is day of the cleaning, your cleaner has a check-in button. So they check in, you're notified that they're there and that they've begun. They do the cleaning as normal, take any photos you've requested, go through your checklist and inventory, and when they are done, they check out, you get those photos back, and the trigger for their payment is that checkout button. So once they've finished, it'll pull from whatever card or bank you have on file and start processing that for you. All right. Next, we can jump into checklists. And checklists are basically just instructions for your cleaners. So by clicking New Checklist in the corner when it loads up, we do start you off with a basic outline. So if you were to click New Checklist over here, you would get started with something that looks just like this. All right. Now from here, to add in any extra lines, you can click this plus sign here. And then if you click the three dots over here in the corner, you can either require photo documentation, so you'll add this camera icon to each of the lines you need a picture of, and you can also add an image, so if you need something to look a particular way, you can provide them with that reference photo. We do allow you to create one checklist per property so that you can highlight specifics, and once you've built out your checklist, you can make it mandatory. So if you want those photos taken every time, you can set it up so that they are unable to check out and get paid until they go through the entire checklist. We do also offer some popular checklists, so if you're looking for any inspiration, feel free to click around in here. You can either copy and paste the ideas that you like, or if you like the whole thing, you can use it in its entirety and then kind of edit down from there. Depending on your relationship with your cleaners, you don't necessarily need to add every little thing within your checklist. I would discuss with your cleaners what their standard procedure looks like. So rather than you writing things out like sweep the floor and make the beds, you can use your checklist more for things that they wouldn't necessarily know to do off the top of their head, just so it's a bit more concise. The longer the list, the odds are less that they go through, every line of your 200-line checklist. So the more concise you can make it, the odds are better that they're actually going through there and, taking a look at all of your requests. All right. Now, alongside checklists, we have inventory, and inventory is basically you asking your cleaner how much of something you have left. So things that you're providing to your guests like toilet paper, shampoo and conditioner, whatever it is, you can add this here. We can do an example here. Let's say you provide tea at your properties. You can track it precisely or by estimate. We'll go estimate for this one. Then select, a couple or all of your properties. And then if you would like to be notified when tea is running low, you would set it up just like this with the report problem button ticked on, and then whatever threshold it is that you're setting. And basically what will happen is every time they come in to clean, they'll fill this out, and if tea comes back as low or under, you get a notification over here in the Problems tab. Now this Problems tab over here is where both low inventory and any other issues will be reported. So if your cleaner were to come in and something is broken or wrong, they're prompted to take a photo, leave you a caption. It'll look just like this. And from this page, we allow you to directly text or email. So if you wanted to send this out to whoever might need to see it, you could text or email them. This person does not need to have a Turno account. It'll just send normally. And then either you or whoever you sent it to would be able to mark it as solved once it's handled, and all of the solved issues will filter over here. We do also allow you to report your own problems, so if something comes up and you just want to take note of it so you don't forget, you can plug in your own problems here and mark them as solved the same way, just to stay organized. All right, now in regards to our Properties tab, most of this information is going to be pulled through from whatever integrations you started at. So your channel manager or just Airbnb itself. So there's not much that you need to change in here, but there are some things that you can adjust if you'd like. So for example, on the general page here, if you have a door code that you'd like to share with your cleaner, you can punch that here under access code. If you would like to share your Wi-Fi, this does help with the image quality within the checklist, so you can consider that. And then calendars, I like to point out this button here. It says make projects visible, and in your account, it'll be set to immediately in the beginning. So Set to immediately, what this means is your cleaner can see out as far as the calendar goes. So if you were to get a booking for, 2 years out from now, they would be able to accept that as soon as you got the booking. So some hosts do like to adjust this a little. Obviously you want to give your cleaners notice, but maybe just a month ahead so that they have a better idea of what their calendar actually looks like. So when they are accepting things, it's more accurate. And of course, if you do hook up with a channel manager, we're pulling through all of the bookings sites that you have set up over there, so you wouldn't need to add them on individually. We're just pulling it from them. But if you're not on a channel manager, you'll have to connect them, one by one. If you're on Airbnb, you'll start here, and then you'll add your VRBO as well. And then check in and out. Make sure that these times are accurate. This is what we are basing your cleaning window on. There are a couple other options in here as well. For example, when you would like the cleaning scheduled. 95% of hosts prefer that the cleaning is scheduled for when the guest checks out, but we do allow you to schedule it for before a guest checks in. So if you have a lot of time between bookings and want to make sure it's as fresh as possible, this is an option that we give you as well. And then checklists. We covered this already, but if you're working with a bunch of properties, it is typically easiest if you title the name of the checklist the name of the property itself. For example, this one, once this loads up. Boca Chic, you want to make sure that Boca Chic is active on Boca Chic, just so that it's easier to organize. Otherwise, they'll all just be called your name's checklist, and it gets a little confusing there. In terms of inventory, you can create kind of a generalized inventory that applies to all of your properties, but if different places have different things, you can come in here and adjust accordingly. And then teammates. This tab is very similar to the My Team tab, but like I mentioned, when you first accept someone from the marketplace, or even if you invite someone on yourself, we don't immediately place them on the property because we want to give you a second to decide where they go. So once you've made that decision, you can add them to the property here on the My Team tab, or you can come property level, teammates, and add them this way. And then payments. We'll actually talk about payments right now, but we do allow you to pay for different properties with different accounts if you'd like. Otherwise, it'll just pull from the one that you have on file. All right, so hopping into payments here. In terms of our marketplace cleaners, they are always going to be paid automatically through the system, and the trigger for that payment is the checkout button. Now, if you were to invite your own cleaner on, you do actually have the option to pay them on or off platform. So if you have a system in place that works for you, you could continue to do that if you'd like. Otherwise, you would invite your own cleaner to set up their Stripe account so that you can start doing auto pay through Turno. And it'll work the same way. As long as they check out of that cleaning, it triggers the payment. Now, in regards to pricing breakdowns, for our marketplace cleaners, our platform fee is 5% if you are using a bank account. So if they were to bid $100, you'd be paying $105 total. Or if you are using a card, it'll be 8% per clean. So $100 bid, $108 total to you. And that only happens when a cleaning has actually been completed. And Stripe is our payment processor. Stripe will actually provide them with a 1099, so you wouldn't need to worry about their tax paperwork. In regards to your own paperwork, we do have this reports tab here, so feel free to come in and, select whatever information it is that you're looking for. These will all save down here, and you can rerun them as time passes. I'll also talk about our newest automated project type. It's called our check-in/welcoming project. Not everyone, has a need for this, but you might. Our check-in/welcoming project is a project that we place in the beginning of a stay. So the cleaning happens when the guest checks out. This one happens right before they check in. So if you have someone that you send off to the property, whether it be to, maybe write the guests a note or leave them flowers or just check on the place to make sure that everything's doing okay, you can turn this on and we will automate a new project type for you before they check in. So you can consider that in, your process. We also have our quality center. I don't have it fully built out on my demo account, but you will once you hook up your Airbnb. This is basically just a metric system to keep track of your cleaners' cleanliness ratings. So on Airbnb, when the guest checks out, they are prompted to leave a rating, 1 to 5 stars, about cleanliness, and choose a couple of different tags. We pull that rating through and pair it up with the cleaning that was done for that guest, just so that you can keep an eye on if your cleaners are doing well, or if you got a bad rating, you click in, maybe look at the photos and see what might have gone wrong there. All right, guys. Heading over into our project settings, just a couple buttons I like to point out. First being this one, it says show projects automatically to all backup cleaners. So, in the situation that we send your primary cleaner a project, and maybe they forget about it, or they're just letting it sit there for too long, I suggest you turn this on to say, if my primary cleaner does not accept or reject X amount of days before it's scheduled, please just open it up to the backup so that someone can pick it up for me. So this is just a nice little safeguard for you there. And then here as well, mandatory checklist completion. If you want that done every time, those photos back, you can turn this on here, and they will have to go through it before they're able to check out and get paid. And I always like to end my demos in the notification settings. Make sure you come in here and adjust to your liking. And if you haven't already, I would also download our app, Turno for Hosts. Our app is great for daily tasks. I do suggest the computer just in terms of setup so that you can kind of follow along with everything I just taught you. All right, so that is about it for the demo today. If you have any more questions, please do not hesitate to reach out and contact us. We do have a 24/7 customer service chat that you can find in your account by clicking on this little question mark and then contact us. But when you sign up for a Turno account, you will also be assigned an account executive so that you have someone to directly call or text if that's what you prefer. All right, guys, thanks for your time. Have a good one.